Hey, Mark Meldrum, Northern Ohio Chevelle Club, and here is probably my last day of talking about Chicago, and we're going to talk about truly a unique individual that I met and really got a chance to know a lot better than I had in previous years, and that's Patrick Glenn Nichols. Muscle Car Barn Finds. You may see him on YouTube. He is, to me, he's an absolute sensation. I was just glad to spend time with him, and we're going to walk around Mike's car, and he's going to point out some things. Patrick Glenn Nichols writes for Super Chevy, Carcraft, Hot Rod. He has been into Chevelles for a really long time. Larry Robinson, my mentor on Chevelles, has known this kid since he's probably 12, 13 years old. Used to come to the National Chevelle shows and was a judge on 1970 Chevelle. He just extremely knowledgeable. When he didn't have cars, he was collecting parts, he was collecting knowledge. He's extremely charismatic, and I just love listening to him. You know, I really didn't know him that well until this year. We met on Facebook. We started chatting back and forth. We definitely have a passion for finding these barn finds, but he makes a business of it. God bless him for that. I wish I could do that. So let's go back to Chicago and talk to Patrick. Here we go.
Hey, Mark Meldrum, Northern Ohio Chevelle Club, and we're here at the Muscle Car Show in Chicago, and I ran across my good buddy, Patrick Glenn Nichols from Muscle Car Barn Finds. And Patrick is going to walk around this particular beautiful 66 Chevelle, and we're going to talk about it.
I'm going to ask
And he's going to point out all the screw-ups.
That'll be up to him. He's going to tell me more about the car. So what we're going to do today is mainly just tell you guys what's cool about the car, what's rare about the car, and you know, for our Chevelle enthusiasts, that's what they want to see. They want a knowledge of these cars and education. So Mark here, he knows his car better than anybody. So here we go.
I have fun with my videos, but this guy tells some serious stories. This is a 1966 Chevelle. Get in on this engine, Joe. It is a beautiful 360 horse Chevelle. Is a 4-speed car, M21 transmission. We got this car out of West Virginia, probably in July or so. And some cool options on this car. Tropical turquoise. What code is that, Patrick?
LL.
LL code.
Code L lower, L upper.
So it's just a nice car. It's got the fawn interior. I don't know what color. I don't know what code that is. Fawn interior.
One thing I noticed right off the bat that's normally wrong on these cars, he's got these blacked out correctly. And almost always on the replacement parts, they're from the Malibu. And that's one thing that I look at on a super sport car right off the bat. And you can see it's a 360 horse car it has the heavy duty radiator with a fan shroud, which is an upgrade.
That would be an upgrade. Now, I know you Chevelle enthusiasts out there, if you see this and the heavy duty, you're probably looking for, it's a California car, you're probably looking for the air recirculation smog pump. This car does not have that on there. Probably taken off years ago.
Nobody ever wanted that.
Nobody wanted it.
Nobody ever wanted it. And that's why it has a very high value today, those parts do, because everybody threw it away.
Something really cool on the car that I've been telling Patrick about, been schooling him on, is the wheel disc over here.
Oh, here we go.
So this is option code P01. 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 So this is a special option code. Why it's near and dear to me is my father worked at the assembly plant where they made these particular wheel discs. You never see these on a Chevelle. They made over 220,000 cars with this wheel disc, but you never see them on them because Chevelle guys don't like them. What do they want, Patrick?
They want the hubcaps.
They want hubcaps.
The
They want
simulated
the mags.
Yes.
That's what they want.
Most of them went straight to Dave 2 Kragers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you just don't see that on the cars.
I mean, it was an upgrade, though. It was not standard.
Yeah.
Let's look at the fawn interior. You can tell us a little bit more about that, Mark. Go ahead. It's your car. Take off.
Beautiful interior on this, fawn interior. We did a lot of cleanup on this. the last guy that got a hold of this car didn't put these emblems in here, so we had to put those back in. Patrick, point out something unique on that shifter there, which is the top rubber piece there that you never see.
Well, we got the T-handle, and I'll tell you what I mainly see is what I love is the 6,000 RPM tachometer.
Okay.
For the 360 horse. And that's my favorite.
But that square piece on the top, you hardly ever see that on the shifter.
Picture frame boot.
Yeah.
Picture frame boot. There you go. What do you call that? Picture frame
Picture
boot?
frame boot.
Yeah.
How many
You
of
have
them
the lower?
have you bought?
It's on there.
Yeah. Have you seen the lower that is one piece?
It's a lower.
I'll
It's
show you
on
the
here.
show.
It's on here.
This have that smell.
I'm sorry. There
doesn't
there
have
is
that
a
smell.
particular 66 Chevelle. It doesn't have it.
Doesn't have it.
Smell.
It lost its smell.
You see it has the upgraded wood wheel.
Well, let's go around back here to the trunk, Joe.
Drip piece. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Now Patrick will
Explain to me
notice.
about the big Jack in the Street.
I have no idea. You tell me about them. I don't understand why Chevrolet would make a sticker that would go across both these, but that's what they did, and that's a 65 Chevelle. It's not a 66. I don't understand why they did that,
Sure.
but they did it. Behind here, something that people don't ever see is a wick that goes back in here. I don't even know where the heck it's at, but apparently the wick is there.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
That's something unique to a 66 Chevelle. There's a wick in there to take the moisture out of the rear lights here. I don't know. What else?
What about
this?
the seam here? Was it
This
never
seam-
supposed to be in the
This,
center, correct?
this seam should not be in the center. It
off
should
a
be
little bit.
off a little bit. But this was so well glued down that we decided not to mess with it. We decided to leave it alone.
Aside from that, I mean, a lot of the spatter is respattered.
Yeah, it's respattered.
You see that.
It looks nice.
Be paper instead of sticker. But these are things that all cars have to deal with. Not everybody can find. These parts are not out there. You know, you
Right.
can't just find an original, Positraction decal that's paper. It's square. It was glued on rather than a sticker. That stuff's just not out there. You can search for years and you find it. And duplicating the spatter paint, I mean, there's guys that try it and do pretty good, but it's almost impossible to duplicate what once was on these cars. And of course, this is a beautiful car. We're not picking the car, but we like to give people an education of what's correct, what's been restored, what's reproduction, what's not. That's what we do. You know? So
And there's a lot of reproduction on this car, but nothing less makes it. It's still a beautiful car.
yes, exactly,
Notice it's not black between the tail lights.
exactly.
Always big discussion
That's a
on whether
big debate about
yeah,
that.
big debate.
Always is. I mean, I did a 66 Chevelle just a few weeks ago in Middle Tennessee, a white one. You guys, if you go to my YouTube page, you see that video. That car was black in the back, and there's been a lot of debate about that. But a lot of guys
Now,
say even that car was painted.
Patrick,
Been off the
we-
road since 66.
I got to tell you something. We talked to a guy about. Well, I didn't talk to him personally. Mike talked to him. He worked on the assembly line in Atlanta, drove the cars off the line, and he confirmed that there was not a 66 that had black between the tail lights.
Never once.
Never once.
Unless it was black.
Unless it was black. Yeah,
Right,
unless
of
it was
course,
black.
of course.
But it was so interesting to talk to this guy and hear him about driving the cars off the line. I mean, they would really get on these cars going out into the parking lot, and he got in trouble a few times.
I remember correctly, the white one that I covered was a Flint car.
Okay?
Yes, I believe it was a Flint car. Again, there's a debate, but that car has been off the road since '66, and it's black in the back. So somebody
who
had to do it
knows?
really quick.
Maybe they did it at the dealership.
Again,
Who knows?
unless you got an expert that can tell and investigate that. That's something really a lot of guys think it's just a waste of time to even to argue about. But you got a beautiful car here. Do you know the production figure on the 360 horsepower?
Oh gosh, I know. I don't know it off the top of my head, but we've got
72,000.
72,000 total of SS.
I'll do a little plug for Dale McIntosh. We got his book here. We'll look it up. He does a fabulous job. Larry and I have some car pictures in here, and it's a good book if you want to get a book. That's it. That's all I got, Joe. I just happened to see this guy. I wanted to
Thank
get
you
him on,
very much.
Joe.
Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
See ya.
I hope you enjoyed a little insight into what Patrick Glenn Nichols does for a living, and we certainly look forward to and have talked about working with Patrick Glenn Nichols as Larry, Mike, and myself, the Chevelle hunters, go and find our next barn find. See ya!